thinking that niggas trying to be a slick shit. How you gonna do a freaky girl song and not include Nicki? I mean, come on now, you know my fuck.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Shit Siren Says, starring me, your girl, Siren. How y'all doing? It's been a while, but you know, I'm back again after another long ass break. But thank you all who have been supporting me, interacting with me in my Instagram, and tuning into my Instagram rants. I truly appreciate it as always. So I'm hoping again I can get back on the schedule and keep giving you all episodes and content, because I do miss this and I do love this. But in the meantime, in between time, like I always tell people, please follow me on Instagram. I love to interact, I love to chat, and I love to hear you all's thoughts. You can find me at Siren, SYREN 713 _ on Instagram, and you can hear all the fucking tea and all the fucking rants and all the yelling you want to every day on my story. So come join me sometimes. But let's get into this episode. So I'm sure most of us have had that experience, especially my queer women, bisexual, pansexual, where you're at the bar, or maybe for my sex workers, my dancers, my strippers, you're at the bar, you're working the night at the club, and you have that couple who comes in, and they come up to you and they say, "Me and my wife think you are so hot. Would you like to have a drink with us? Would you be interested in hooking up with us?" Or you've been on Tinder and you swipe right and you match with that guy, or you match with that girl, and you guys are chatting it up and hitting it off and spending time together, and you're really liking this person. But then you get hit with so listen, I have a girlfriend. So listen, I have a boyfriend. So listen, I'm married. So listen, but you know, it would work. It's only gonna work out if you'd be open to dating my partner, or sleeping with my partner and me. This, my friends, is the delusional world of unicorn hunting. Spirit fingers. Sorry, I had to add a little razzle dazzle to the delusion of unicorn hunting. Now, quick disclaimer that I want to put out there. I am not knocking anybody who wants to unicorn hunt. Just be ethical about it. I just want to give that disclaimer. Nothing on Shit Siren Says is a personal attack towards anybody. Just because my opinion is not with it does not mean that you can't fucking do it. Because who the fuck am I? I am the authority on nothing. My only concern and my only rule is to be ethical about things. That is it. So let's get the fuck into it. So for those of you who do not know what unicorn hunting is the act of an already established couple seeking a third party to come into their relationship, and that could just be purely for sex, or it could be for a romantic connection, possibly a romantic relationship. Now let me put this out there. Historically, unicorn hunting in polyamory communities is frowned upon, to the point where lately I have started to notice that a lot of poly groups are now setting rules to where they will not accept unicorn hunting. If they see anybody making postings like that, trying to do that, they will be banned from the group. I am seeing offshoot groups out there for those of you all who are into it that are coming up for people to find a third. Now, on the flip side, the lifestyle and swingers community is more open to it. It's usually more open to it, again, if it's queer females, bisexual females, pansexual females, whatever. But even with the lifestyle and swingers communities, I am still seeing a lot of offshoot singles communities coming up, because again, unicorn hunting in any situation is not without problem, and we're going to get into the problems today. So, first topic, and excuse me y'all if y'all see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes and script. If you've watched me in the past, you know I can go on and on and on and left and right and up and down. So I'm trying to stay on track today. Anyways, the delusion. Now, I personally call it delusional, and I want to clarify, though I think it is delusional to an extent, I'm not against building triads. Not at all, and I'm not against threesomes. I find unicorn hunting delusional because usually about, and I'm no mathematician and I'm no expert, but usually most of the time when couples jump into poly or even looking for a threesome, the expectation is that out the gate, this unicorn is going to equally find them both romantically attractive, sexually attractive out the gate at the same trajectory. I find that delusional. Okay, so the reason, and let me explain why I find it delusional, and it's unrealistic. Okay, like we're gonna go into some things later, but it's unrealistic, and I'm gonna say, at least from a romantic relationship perspective, this is why it's unrealistic. Relationships don't work like that. Okay, there's no way out the gate that I can meet a couple and I could just look at them and just be like, like maybe have one conversation. I'm like, damn, I'm just so attracted to them without dating them independently and without getting to know them. And that takes time. A lot of the times what I see with couples is the delusion that we do a few group dates and you'll like us. But that's not how it works. Number one, that's not how it works, because though a couple might be together, they are two independent people and entities. They're not twins, so they don't look alike, and they're not the same person. They are two different people in one relationship. So my relationship with one party in that relationship, in that situation, might be different from my relationship in another party. So yes, it is possible that someone could grow to like you and love you all both, but it would take independent and of course group time, because that's nice too, but it would take independently dating you both. And it's also, again, this is the reason it's called unicorn hunting, because think about how rare it is to ever find a unicorn in the real world. It's also rare to, again, find a person who is going to be attracted to both of you. So that's why I call it the delusion. Like I said, I want to be really clear. I'm not necessarily against the desire for it. I just think it is very delusional to hop into poly and think that, yes, we are just going to have out the gate success with this. And not really being clear on, like, it doesn't work like that. There are those rare offshoots. I mean, I've dated couples, but again, like I've had to tell people, it took time. And it takes a lot of time. And it takes, again, you getting to know those people independently. And a lot of the times, it unfortunately is not always the case if that person likes you guys both. Shit, they may like Sally, and they might think that Bob is cool as a metamor, but they don't want to date Bob on a romantic level. And I think that that's valid and okay, but a lot of couples are not comfortable with that. Let me tell you what they want to do. So I have a hunch with these couples. Sorry, I'm munching on my Skittles gummies. These bitches good. I have a hunch with this. The couples who are really fixated on dating as a couple, and that's the only way they want to practice poly, are really just trying to hold on to monogamy. Which I think is utterly fucking ridiculous, because what's the point? Like, if you're that uncomfortable with the possibility of your partner dating or meeting someone and having a connection with them, there really is no point in being poly. Just fucking stay monogamous at that rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no point, because you guys really aren't as open, or I'm gonna just say, because everybody likes to say woke. I fucking hate that word. But you're really not as open as you really think, because you're holding on to the fact that, no, if we can't date together, no, we have to come as a deal. Well, why? Why do you need to come as a package deal? Because, again, you're holding on to monogamy. And I could be wrong. I mean, that's my personal hunch. I think that it's a cop-out to, again, you want all the benefits of being open, but you don't want to be open. You're trying to be conservative poly. Sorry, I'm dramatic. But, yeah, that's why I call it the delusion. I think it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, triads are good, but, again, there are just certain people who, it really works for. But again, it does take time. Just like any relationship, just takes time. So I'll just leave it at that. So let's hop into the problems. So the first problem that we usually encounter with unicorn hunters is unchecked couples privilege. So what is couples privilege? Couples privilege is the privilege that society gives to those who are in heteronormative relationships, will appear to be in heteronormative relationships in a mononormative society. So, like I said, first thing, appearance. If me and my husband are discreetly on Tinder looking for a third, when we're in society, at the work party, at family events, at the cigar bar, we do not give the appearance of anything that is deviant from the norm. I mean, we're not going to get the same dirty looks that the polycule going out to dinner is going to look when the waiter or the waitress finds out that you all are dating, you all are romantically involved. We're not going to get the same looks as the queer couple going out to dinner. We're not going to get those same looks. So that already in itself is a privilege. Also, just think about it. A heteronormative couple can easily go get married. They're going to get the tax breaks and the financial benefits that come with that, health insurance. The list goes on and on. So that is couple privilege, legal advantages. And again, another thing that I don't think couples think about with couples privilege, and this is, some people don't have an issue with this. Personally, for me, I have an issue with this: openness. So like I just said, going out to dinner, going to family events, especially, this is an issue. When you have that couple who is, we're looking for a third, but not, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. It's Thanksgiving and it's Christmas and it's Mother's Day. Well, can I come? I'm pretending to be the third. Well, can I come to Thanksgiving dinner with you all? I don't think our family would like that. Okay. Did you guys like my little skit there? I'm the me and my invisible husband. We're the couple. Yeah, we're going to Thanksgiving dinner at my mom's house. Can I come? No, honey. I'm sorry, but not this year. Like, for me, that's an issue. I think that's a problem. And again, those are things that couples don't think about and address that can later on become mounting issues. Are you guys going to be secretive? Facebook posts, Instagram posts, are you going to include your partner in that? Or is it always going to be your other partner is opening Instagram or Facebook and they're only seeing you and, well, they're seeing me and Invisible Bobby right here. They don't get that advantage. They don't get that privilege. They don't get to be shown off to the world. They're a secret. I think that's another layer of couples privilege. And personally, for me, I'm one who literally asks you out the gate. Are they open about it? And if they're not, it's not for me. Some people differ in that. Some people are okay with that. It's personally, for me, I'm just not. So that's another thing that I would kind of lump into couples privilege. Another issue is power dynamics. But I want to say this quote that I got from James K. Began. It is, in his scholarly article called Monomyth or Monogamyth. And I think I'm going to share the links to all the articles I read. So, by extension, is a couple seeking a unicorn concerned with optimizing their relationship with the unicorn, or merely interested in what the unicorn can provide to them on their own collective search for sexual or romantic fulfillment? And that's usually the problem that we see with hunting. There really has not been, again, that groundwork conversation that a lot of couples, I feel like, need to have prior to going on that search about what it is they're really looking for and the reasoning and basis behind why they are opening their relationship. Are you really opening up because you both are actually polyamorous and have the desire and the capacity to love more than one person? Or are you just doing it as something to spice up your relationship? Because that is a real thing. Sorry to say, y'all, this is a hill I'm going to die on. We do have those couples. We do have those couples who want the threesome because they think it's going to spice up their relationship. We do have those couples who explore poly because they think it's going to fix a cheating relationship, which it's not. It's not. But it's the same shit when the couples have, oh, our relationship is going sour. Let's have a baby. None of that shit works. So you do have those people who, again, they're only doing it for very selfish reasons. What can they do for us? We want them to love us. We want them to fuck us. And there's all this discussion in we statements going on that do not include that other party or that person, or do not even include the thought of, this is another human being who has feelings and emotions who we are inviting into our space. Are we going to genuinely open up to them? Are we actually open to that? Or is this something just to spice up our life? The next thing is unchecked power dynamics. So normally what we see is, because that couple is the couple, yeah, they basically hold all the power. So usually what happens is, because that couple is the existing couple, or again, because there's always like that groundwork conversation is usually focused on the we, that extra party is never included, or the thought of that extra party is never included, and how they're going to feel is never included. So the power is usually always held by the couple. Another article I read, which is by Lisa Armstrong, is a critique of a show called You, Me, and Her. So You, Me, and Her is a polyromantic comedy that was aired in Canada, not fucking Australia. I'm thinking of Tame Impala. Anyways, I'm sorry, I love them. Fucking favorite band. But it's a polyromantic comedy that aired in Canada on a network called Audience. And it follows Jack and Emma. Now, Jack and Emma are a married couple, and they are going through a rough patch. Their relationship is dying. The sex is bad. Everything is just fucking bad. So, with that being said, Jack and Emma are trying to work out their marriage. They start to see a sex therapist. They start to see a relationship coach, whatever. Jack, the husband, decides to hire an escort, whose name is Izzy, to help him get spicy, okay? Help him work on his flirting skills, his approach. Make him hot and spicy for his wife. Wow. Well, Jack ends up falling for Izzy, and Izzy ends up falling for him. And long story short, Jack and Emma decide to invite Izzy into their relationship as a unicorn. Well, I think Elisa, who wrote this article, pulled some really good quotes from the show that give really good examples of power dynamics and how couples hold power in these relationships. The show ran for 2 seasons. I think there's 10 episodes per season. You guys should check it out. I know I'm going to check it out just to be nosy. But anyways, first quote I want to go into. So Jack and Emma are laying in bed. Again, remember, Jack and Emma are the married couple. Emma says to Jack, "Jack, where's it possibly going to go from here? I mean, how does she realistically fit into our work, our jobs, our lives?" And Jack responds, "Long after Izzy has moved on with another guy and another family, this story will be about you and me, Em, okay? It always was and always will be." Elisa goes on to follow up this quote from the show by saying, "This reinforces the idea that the show is not focused on Jack and Emma and Izzy in their respective relationships with each other, but rather on Jack and Emma's relationship and their relationship with Izzy." So think about that. And think about the statement, the conversation that the couple had. They have this partner that they have invited to their relationship that they claim that they are open to and attracted to and in love with. But the conversation is still centering around, it's always going to be us. Basically insinuating that, yeah, she's here, but she's an outsider to us. Which is why I'm on that hunch that a lot of couples do not realize that, yeah, you are in a sense clinging on for dear life to monogamy and not really understanding what it means to have multiple relationships with other people. If you are that fixated on your one core primary relationship, monogamy, don't let me go. Sorry, I'm sorry, y'all. I have to bring the theatrics today. It's been a long time. Second quote I wanted to share. So, to give context to this quote from the show, Izzy, the third party, is walking in on Emma and Jack, the husband. Emma and Jack are talking about their relationship with Izzy behind her back, and Izzy approaches them about talking behind her back. Emma, the wife, states, "Well, Isabel, we're married, so we're kind of talking behind the whole world's back, like every day, all the time. So, do you guys start to notice the privilege, and not only just the privilege, but the power dynamic where you are coming into our shit? We are the couple here. We like you, but you're not in this. Are you guys starting to see it? Yeah, this might be a TV show, but these are real occurrences. These are real occurrences, guys. Like this is not just like I'm really curious to really watch this show. I'm trying to find where it streams at, and if I do find it, I will share with everybody. If you're not following me on Buy Me a Coffee, I share links now about weekly reads. So again, I will include these links for the articles I read for this episode in the description, but I also will look for the show and include that, and then all of these links will again be posted on Sunday on Buy Me a Coffee. So just let you all know. But are you guys starting to see it? I really feel like this show was really well written and really showing that there is a big power shift and it's not equal, which really doesn't make sense to me because again, like I said, what is the fucking point in loving and sharing relationships with multiple people only to push them at bay to fixate on one relationship? What's the fucking point in being poly? Like, that's why I said, like, I get it, but it's also kind of like delusional. And I won't say everybody who does it is delusional because you do have those people who have done that groundwork and have opened themselves up to understanding that, hey, it is no longer just me and you. It's me, you, and them, and we are in this together. We are a team. So I really like those quotes, and I really want to share them. So we are going to end with my personal thoughts. And I have a question to ask you all. Do you guys think that unicorn hunting overall is inherently unethical? So I'm still debating this one in my head. I only bring it up because I've seen it everywhere, and a lot of people are now saying that in general, unicorn hunting is unethical, period.com. The whole practice is wrong. I will say this. I have always found unicorn hunting very fucking annoying, if anything. I've never thought of the practice itself as unethical. It's usually the tactics that most couples use to hunt for unicorns that are unethical. That's been my issue. But I am rolling this around in my head because I do see some factors as to why it could be unethical. Number one, unicorn hunting in general is hyper fixated at queer women. To the point where I feel like it invalidates queer women relationships, especially when we have men unicorn hunters. They really are. Take a deep breath, because this is going to stress me out to think about and say. A lot of men who identify as poly are really just in it, in my opinion, because they just want to have fucking threesomes every fucking day. Don't fight me, guys. Again, my opinion. You don't have to agree. But I notice it a lot. There's a really hyper fixation on poly just being this like honeymoon of threesomes and just a gaggle of bitches. And that's not the case. That's not the case at all. But I really feel like the unicorn hunting in itself really, really, really kind of invalidates queer female relationships too. Of course you'll like my wife. She's awesome. Like, Yeah, just come in so you can have threesomes with us and bump your fucking pussy against hers and give me a show. Like, I noticed that with cis hetero men. That might be a little extreme what I'm saying, but yeah, I noticed that a lot with them. Gross. And it also not only just invalidates the relationships, it really fetishizes queer women. Because that's like, usually like with the cis hetero couples, they're on Tinder nonstop. They're in in women's faces nonstop. Like, bugging them about threesomes. And I don't like, again, the assumption that bisexual women especially are down for threesomes. No. There are some out there who are interested, but there are also some out there who are not. So the fucking assumption itself is very disgusting. And just ridiculous. And you see it a lot. Like, I mean, I can even tell y'all myself, there have been times where, like, you know, I meet partners, specifically cis hetero men, and I'll tell them, you know, hey, I'm pan. Oh, so that means you down to fuck other bitches. You gonna give me a threesome, right? And it's happened several times, and it's very aggravating, it's very dehumanizing, and it's very fetishizing, and it invalidates my sexuality, and it's gross. Not even just that, unicorn hunting itself, especially with these couples seeking that instant gratification, and again, in that delusional space that this bitch is just gonna fall in love with us. Because that's how they be thinking. Y'all can't tell me shit. Y'all can't tell me otherwise. That is how these motherfuckers be thinking. This bitch gonna love it here. No. But it takes away the growth, the organic growth of relationships. The expectation walking in the gate that someone is going to fall in love with both of you at the same trajectory is fucking ridiculous to me. I'm willing to die on that hill. Like I said, you guys don't have to agree with me, but I think that's ridiculous. Instead of just letting the chips fall where they fall. I think for me personally with poly, I have really began to find joy and happiness in seeing my partner happy. And that's with me and that's with someone else. Hypothetically speaking, I don't understand, again, if you're going to say that you are polyamorous and you're a couple, why the fuck are you forcing being a package deal? If you meet a young lady or young man and he or she happens to fall in love with both of you and they've gotten the time to organically date you both independently, that's beautiful. But if you are coming out the gate hunting and forcing this to happen, something about that does feel very uncomfortable, very forced, and very gross. That's just me. I don't, like I said, but I don't want to diminish that triads can be a beautiful thing. I'm not against it. I just feel like the fixation and the obsession and the forcing of it really bubbles into something very negative. And I think that is why we see a lot of hate towards unicorn hunters. And like I said, just the tactics. Again, no, it is not okay to go on Tinder and develop a relationship with a man or woman and then spring upon them that you have a partner and the only way it's going to work out is if they are consenting to fucking or dating your partner. That is stealth unicorning, and that is something that I will check you all on this episode. That is wrong. That is unethical, and it is no. We don't do that because again, it I'm gonna say this: if you are a unicorn hunter out there, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. How would you feel if you were a person who was monogamous, or you were a person who was poly and just looking to meet another partner and develop a relationship with them? How would you feel if you had developed feelings for that person and it was sprung on you that they had another partner and the only way that you guys could continue is if you dated that person? That's the only way you could stay around. Think about it. That's a bit fucked up when you really put it together. It is like literally forcing someone's hand, like, well, if you like me. And it's very manipulative. Like, tactics like that, and it's not, and I want to say this again, even though I shouldn't have to say it, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. That's not everybody's story. That's not how everybody works. But we do have a lot of people out there who do tactics like stealth unicorning. things like vetoing people because they don't want to date other partners. Really just manipulating people and like trying to force their consent on things. And that in itself, yes, I will bitch and moan at you guys about is wrong. So the piece I'll leave you all out on is this. Just be compassionate and put yourself in other people's shoes. And again, like I fucking said, which I'm not gonna go deep into this because I do want to do an episode on a few things that I think are clings to monogamy. So this is my last message. If that is a deal breaker for you guys as a couple or anybody out there as a couple, why the fuck are you poly? And I would really evaluate, are you really polyamorous? But anyways, I guess I fucking digress. Until next time, guys. Bye.